Hello Foundation and Key Stage 1 and welcome to this week's online virtual PE lesson. Today we are going to be looking at throwing and catching. So you will need something soft that you can throw and catch with. If you've got a small ball, that would be fantastic, but you could use a pair of socks. To start off with today, can you remember what we did in our PE lesson last week? That's right, we looked at dribbling, didn't we? And what parts of the body did we use to dribble? Yes, we used our hands and we used our feet. And we dribbled with the ball on the floor using our hands. And we also used to dribble the ball with our feet on the floor as well. We did a basketball dribble where we bounced the ball using our hands. Today we're going to be looking at some throwing and catching, and we're going to start off by playing the bean game. So for our bean game warm-up, we are going to do lots and lots of different actions and movements and shapes that remind us of lots and lots of different beans. So for example, if I say frozen bean, we are going to freeze. If I say runner bean, we're going to run around. Okay, if I say jelly bean, we're going to go wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble, like a jelly. So we've got lots and lots of different beans that we are going to use to get ourselves nice and warm. Are we ready, boys and girls? Thumbs up. Let's go. So we're going to start off with frozen bean. Wow, you guys are so still. That's amazing. Are we ready? String bean. Now for string bean, we're going to go onto our tiptoes, feet together, and we're going to reach up with our arms above our heads. Stretch those fingers. Squeeze your brains with your arms and try and touch the sky. That's amazing. And broad bean. We're going to bring our arms out. We're going to bring our legs out. Okay. What shape are we making at the moment, boys and girls? That's right. We're making a star shape with our broad bean. Fantastic. And string bean. Very good. And broad bean. And broad bean. Oh, I tried to catch you out. Well done, boys and girls. And string bean. And frozen bean. Very good. And jelly bean. Off we go. Wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble. Frozen bean. Very good. Are we ready? Runner bean. Moving around. Find as much space as you can. Keep your heads up. Make sure you can see where you're going. And string bean. Very good. Moving around like a string bean on your tiptoes. Stretch up as high as you can, boys and girls. Try and touch the ceiling. Can you reach? Reach up as high as you can. And broad bean. Wow, moving around like a broad bean. So this time we're taking big steps, big arms, big, really big movements. Amazing. Fantastic broad beans. And jelly bean, wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble. And frozen bean. Very good. Did you manage to stop at home? Amazing. Your listening is so good today, boys and girls. Well done. So now we are going to move on to jumping bean. Are we ready? So how do we jump? That's right. Both feet jump together at the same time. What do I need to do with my knees? Oh, I've got to bend them. So I keep my feet together, bend my knees, But there's something else I need to remember to do with my arms, and I can't remember. Can you tell me, boys and girls? Oh, I need to swing them, do that? And I need to pull the air back. Fantastic. So my feet are together, my knees are bent, I swing my arms and pull the air back, and I look down, do I? Oh, no, silly Mr Yates. If I not look down, my head's going to go into the floor, isn't it? And I'm not going to be able to see where I'm going. So I need to keep my head up, and that will help me keep my balance. So jumping bean, off we go. Jumping bean, jump around the area. Oh, well done, boys and girls. See how high you can jump. Reach up as high as you can. Frozen bean. Well done. Runner bean, off we go. You're working so hard, boys and girls. Jelly bean. Wibble wobble, 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 wibble wobble. Broad bean. Moving around like a broad bean, off you go. Big arms, big legs. Baked bean. We're going to make ourselves really small into a baked bean. Tuck yourselves in. And baked beans on toast. We're going to lie down onto our piece of toast. Spread your arms out. Spread your legs out. Make yourself as big as you can. Fantastic. Baked bean. Baked beans on toast. Baked bean. Baked beans on toast. Baked beans on toast. Oh, you're so good, boys and girls. Baked bean. And string bean. Stretch up as high as you can. Moving around like a string bean. Off you go. Small little steps on your tiptoes. Stretch up. Squeeze your brains with your arms. Fantastic. And broad bean. And moving around like a broad bean. Big arms. Big legs. Lots and lots of big steps. Very good, boys and girls. And jelly bean. Wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble. And frozen bean. Wow, you're so good. And runner bean. Off we go, running around. Great work, keep going. Make sure we're nice and warm. And jumping bean. Wow. And baked bean onto the floor. Make yourself really small, tuck your heads in. That's it. And babies on toast. And baked bean. Wow, and babies on toast. And string bean, stretch up. And broad bean. And jelly bean, wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wobble wobble, wibble wobble, frozen bean. Well done, boys and girls. Give yourselves a big clap. So, boys and girls, we are now going to move on to the throwing and catching part of our session. So, I've got a beanbag, but you could use a ball, or, as we said at the start, you could use a rolled up pair of socks. To start off with, we're going to sit down with our legs crossed, and we are going to hold our equipment in one hand. I want you to think about your equipment. I want you to think about the shape, the size. How does it feel in your hand? Is it hard? Is it soft? Is it heavy? Is it light? My beanbag, as you can see, is a rectangle shape. And it's full of beans. It's quite soft on the outside. If I give it a squeeze, I can feel those beans in my hand. And it makes a noise when I rub it between my hands. It's quite light. It doesn't feel that heavy. So what we're going to do, we're going to pass our objects around different parts of our body. So to start off with, we're just going to pass it from hand to hand. As we do so, we're going to make sure that we keep our eyes on our object. So we get used to watching our object into our hands from one to the other. As we let go and as we collect, we're just watching our object from one hand to the other. So at the moment, we're working at about chest height. So now we're going to stretch our arms up above our head. Let's see if we can do it above our head now. Just watching that beanbag, or whatever object you're working with at home, from one hand to the other. Good. Can you make your movements even bigger? And still follow that beanbag. Fantastic work, boys and girls. Good stuff. So now we're going to take the beanbag and we're going to pass it from arm to arm, but this time really low to the floor. Make sure you give your object a good squeeze. That will help you keep control of it. Don't let it escape. Fantastic work. So now we're going to move the object around our body. We might not be able to see it all the time, especially if we're passing it around our back. So we're going to have to feel the object with our hands before we let go of it. So before I pass it from one hand to the other, I make sure the beanbag is in the other hand, okay? If I haven't got a good grip, what do you think might happen to my beanbag? That's right, it's going to fall. So I need to make sure I secure it first and then I let go of it with the other hand. So I'm going to pass my beanbag around my waist. Just like that. Very good, boys and girls. Can you do it the other way as well? Can you go around your head? Well done. And change direction. And change direction again. And around your waist. And change direction. And change direction. And change direction. Can you see if you can speed your hands up now? And change direction. Great work, boys and girls. So now we're going to see if we can pass it around one of our legs. So, if you can sit with your legs out in front of you, you're going to lift one leg up, okay, and keep your back nice and straight. And just pass it around your leg. And change direction. Keep your object as close to your leg as you can. Good, and swap legs. and change direction. You are doing so well, boys and girls. Fantastic. And now we're going to see if we can go round both legs. So we're going to rock back slightly, lift both legs up, and we're going to see if we can hold our balance and pass our beanbag around both legs. Can you see what number we're drawing, boys and girls, with our beanbag as we pass it around our legs? That's right, a number 8. See if you can speed your hands up at home. Keep your balance. And rest there. Well done, boys and girls. So, those activities are working on something called hand-eye coordination. They're getting our hands and our eyes working together with our object. And we're trying to build up our control so that we can then move on to throwing and catching. Hopefully, we'll find it a little bit easier to both throw and catch our object. So, you're going to give your object a squeeze with your hand. And you're going to try and throw with one hand. But just like last week, we had something that was very magical that we tied to our ball last week. Can you remember what it was? That's right, a magic piece of string. So we're going to tie our string to our object, and we're going to tie the other end of the string to our hand. But we need to make sure that we're really, really careful, because our string is only this big from our waist to our head. So when we throw our object, we've got to keep it on this piece of string. If I throw it too high, I'm going to snap my string, and what have I lost, boys and girls? You're right, I've lost control, so I need to make sure I don't break my string. What do I need to keep my eyes on? That's right, I need to look at my object all the way from my throw to my catch. Now this is a really difficult question. What hand shape is this? Fantastic, it's our cup shape. And we're going to use our cup shape to catch our object. Now, I've been practicing, boys and girls, and I seem to be finding it quite difficult to catch my beanbag. My throwing's okay, my throwing's staying nice and straight. I'm not breaking my string. It's coming up and it's coming down. But it seems to be landing on the floor. Can you tell me what I can do to improve? I'll show you again. That's right. I'm using my big hands rather than my small hands. So if I'm catching a small object, my hands need to be close together when I'm catching. If I was catching a big object, my hands would be further apart and I would use my big hands. So I need my small hands today. So I'm going to make sure that my little fingers are touching when I'm making that cup shape so that the beanbag can't fall through, it can't escape. And then I'm going to close my hands, and where am I going to bring it? That's it, we bring it into our body to make sure that we don't drop it. So one-handed throw up to your head, keeping your object on your string, bring both hands together into our cup shape, and then bring it into your body. Are you ready, boys and girls? Sat down at home, throw and catch. Bring it into your body. Throw and catch. And bring it into your body. Have a practice at your throwing and catching at home. See if you can throw your object with one hand and catch it in your cup shape using two hands. If you're finding this difficult at home, have a go at throwing with two hands. See how many you can do without dropping your object. Excellent work, boys and girls. You are doing so well. Oh, I'm going to make your strings a little bit longer. You're working so well. You can throw it a little bit higher now, just above your head. Can anybody add a clap in? Fantastic work, boys and girls. I want you to think at home how you could challenge yourself with your throwing and catching while sat down on the floor. I added a clap in. What could you do? That's right. You could maybe touch a body part before making the catch. So maybe you could do throw head catch. Okay? Maybe you could touch a different body part. Shoulders catch. Maybe you could link body parts together. Head, shoulders catch. Have a go at home. That's fantastic, boys and girls. So we're now going to try our throwing and catching standing up. So we're going to hold our object in one hand. We're going to keep our eyes on it, and we're going to glue our feet to the floor. Okay, so that we're not having to go anywhere. We're going to really work on controlling our beanbag with our hand. So we're going to throw it up, nice and straight, up to our head. Bring our cup shape together and catch it about waist height. And then what do? That's right, we bring it into our body. Whatever score you got sitting down, we're going to try and beat that score. So, we'll have a little practice to start off with. Are we ready? Oh, Mr Yates, you're using your big hands again instead of your small hands. Shall we try again? Is that better, boys and girls? Fantastic. Thank you for helping me. You are working so hard. I am so proud of you all. How can you make it harder for yourself at home? I'm going to add a clap in. I'm going to have a go at clapping underneath one leg and catching it. Maybe I could have a go clapping underneath my other leg as well. Both legs together. Really, boys and girls? Can you have a try at home? Wow, great work, boys and girls. Now, instead of catching with our cup shape using two hands, what do you think we could try? Catching with one hand. So we're just going to throw and then bring one hand underneath our object and give it a squeeze. Okay, what happens if we don't give it a squeeze? That's right, it might slip out. Try not to snatch at the beanbag, because again, you can see it can slip out. If we bring our hand underneath and catch it at around waist height, then we're able to secure our beanbag and bring it into our body. So, keep your eye on it and watch that beanbag throwing and catching with one hand. Bring it in to your body. Good. Can you try that with the other hand now? Very good, boys and girls. Do you think you can throw from one hand to the other? Very good. Excellent work, boys and girls. I want you to think about how you can progress that at home. Maybe you could introduce a clap. Maybe you could tap a different part of your body before catching the beanbag. But now we're going to see if we can add in some movement. Because so far, everything we've been doing with our throwing and catching, we've been doing on the spot. So we're going to see now if we can step and catch at the same time. So we're going to take a step forwards. We're going to throw our beanbag up with one hand, and then we're going to make the catch. As we throw it up, we want our beanbag to be a little bit in front of us. Not too far, because what might happen? That's right, we might break the string, lose control, we might bump into something. So it's really important that we keep our beanbag or our object that we're using under control on our piece of string. So I'm going to watch it into the air and I'm going to step and catch, okay? Just like that, okay? Fantastic, boys and girls. You are working so well. How many can you do without dropping your beanbag? What are we having to do with our heads now we're moving around the area? That's right, we're not only watching the beanbag, but we're also having to watch where we're going. So it's important that we don't have our heads down, but we have our heads up. Fantastic. Okay, keep going. You can start to throw it a little bit further in front of you now. And maybe you're having to take 2 steps before making your catch. Can you add a clap in? Can you add 2 claps in? Wow, boys and girls, you are working amazingly well. So what I would like you to think about now is I'd like you to think about how you can challenge yourself, combining your movement and your throwing and catching. We added a clap in. We then added a second clap in. What could we try now? So maybe we could try a one-handed catch. Wow, okay. So we're going to step, throw, and then try a one-handed catch as well. It's going to be tricky. Do you think we can do it, boys and girls? Let's go. Fantastic. Can you try this with the other hand? Can you switch hands? Can you add a clap in? Fantastic, boys and girls. So now we're going to try and link 2 skills together. What skill did we look at in week 1? Can you remember? That's right, we looked at balancing. So we're going to try and link our balancing and our throwing and catching together. So to start off with, I would like you to see if you can put your slippers on. Can you put your object on your foot? That's amazing. And you are going to stand on one leg. You're going to do what with your arms? Fantastic, aeroplane wings. And you are going to see if you can lift your slipper up like this. And balance and hold it. Fantastic, boys and girls. Slowly bring your leg down, and now you're going to swap your slippers. So put the slipper on the other foot. Aeroplane wings out. Are you ready? Slowly lift. Fantastic, and slowly down. Which leg did you find it easier to balance on? Oh, that's interesting. So what we're going to try and do now, we're going to swap our slipper and we're going to lift our slipper up just as we did before. But now we're going to bring our hands into our cup shape and try and take it off our foot. Fantastic. And now we're going to swap, put the slipper on the other foot, aeroplane wings out, lift nice and slowly, keep your balance, bring your hands into your cup shape. Take your slipper off your foot. Fantastic. You're working so well, boys and girls. So we're now going to see if we can flick our slipper off our foot. and catch it into our hands. Are you ready? So put your slipper on your foot. Are you ready? You're going to flick it up and catch it in your cup shape. Very good. What could we do now? That's right, we could see how many we could do without dropping the slipper. Let's try again. Do you think you could swap feet? Very good. Ooh, that's interesting. A one-handed catch. Wow. What about with the other hand? Very good. Adding a clap in. Are you guys serious? Let's try it. Fantastic, boys and girls. Amazing work. Girls and boys, welcome to the game part of our throwing and catching online PE lesson today. And for today's game, we're going to be looking at body part catch. So, the way you are going to score points is by touching a body part and making a catch. And you're then going to link body parts together. Now, those links are entirely up to you. It could be head and foot, okay? But for every body part you manage to link and then catch, you get a point. So, for example, if I did head and then catch, I would get 1 point. If I did head, shoulders, catch, I would get 2 points. And I want you to see at home how many points you can get up to. What's the most number of body parts you can link together before making your catch? You can do this sat down, you can do it stood up. If you're finding that easy and you really want to challenge yourself, you could try moving around the area. You can use your, that's right, your cup catch, or you could try a one-handed catch. You could maybe even try adding a clap in. But you gain a point for every single body part that you manage to link together. Okay. Shall we have a little practice? Oh, I'm thinking, right. I'm going to try and link body parts that are close together to start off with. So I think I'm going to go. I was able to do head. I was able to do head, shoulders. Maybe I could do head, shoulders, chest. Oh, head, shoulders, chest. I'll make my catch. Oh, what now? Head, shoulders, chest, hips. Oh, wow. Head, shoulders, chest, hips. Oh, nearly. So close, Mr. Yates. It doesn't matter if we drop it, because if we persevere and practice, what's going to happen, boys and girls? That's right, we'll get better and we'll start making those catches. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to persevere. So it's head, shoulders, chest, hips. I have to be really quick with this one. I'm on my toes, I've got my knees bent. Head, shoulders, chest, hips. Oh, just about. So I want you to see, boys and girls, how many body parts can you link together at home before making the catch? I did 1, 2, 3, 4. How many can you do? I hope you've enjoyed today's PE lesson on throwing and catching, boys and girls, and I look forward to seeing you next week.